This is Vicki again with another Fuel the Fire. I've decided that Fuel the Fire can't be saved just for Fridays because my schedule's changed recently and I haven't been able to get it posted on Fridays. So I guess I'm going to be doing it when I have time to do it. And I'm recording this on a Wednesday night, and I just dropped my kids off for Awanas. And so I have 2 hours to wait. And I just decided to park someplace and make a recording. Now, for anyone who's curious about where I decided to park at, I'll just show you. Okay, so maybe not the most cheery place for a lot of people, but it's certainly peaceful, and I'm not likely to be interrupted here. So here I am to make my recording, and what I want to talk about today, there's two things. I want to talk about honesty and resources. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Just going to roll my window up here for a minute. Okay, what I mean is, first, honesty. And that is, are you being honest with yourself? When you say that you don't have time to exercise, or you have some reason to go off your diet, although I really don't like that word, but I use it to mean, just what you eat, not a diet as in, I'm on Atkins diet or this diet or that diet. Just the food that you eat. When you make an excuse, to not do the things that you should do, or to do things you shouldn't do, are you really being honest with yourself? Do your excuses really hold water? And then the next thing I want to talk about is resources. Now, before I get too much into resources, I need to tell a little story. And this story is about what caused me to get serious this time around. I was watching a reality show, one of those weight loss reality shows, Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition. And there was this one character, his name was Wally, and he wasn't honest with the trainer, Chris Powell. He was lying to him for a while. He wasn't honest with his wife. He started out strong. He lost some weight and he started out good. But when he was supposed to continue the program on his own, he wasn't doing very well. And he was stopping for fast food and doing things, but he was lying about it when he was doing these things. And, he had been given all of these resources. He had been given basically a full gym in his house and access to a personal trainer and all kinds of things, money, reimbursement money for the healthy food that he needed to buy. He was given all the resources he needed to make his weight loss efforts work. But he didn't do it. He didn't use those resources. And I found myself, as I was watching this show, I had mixed feelings. On the one hand, I felt sorry for him because I recognized the behavior of an addict. I have a past that involves some addictions, not just food. And I watched him and I could see this addict behavior. And, I kind of pitied him or empathized with him. I'm not sure which more, but there was also this sense where I found myself saying to myself, that's just not fair. There's a lot of people who would have wanted to be on that show, and a lot of people who would have loved to have those resources. And then I said, if I had all those resources given to me, I know I would make better use of them. And then this little voice inside my heart, which I believe is, the Holy Spirit, I believe it's God speaking to me. Some people might just call it their conscience, but I do believe that God speaks to us through our conscience. I believe that's who put it there. But this voice said, really? what makes you think that you would utilize all those resources? And I kind of answered, and myself, like, well, I just know I would if I had access to all of that. And then it said, oh, so are you really using to the fullest extent all of the resources you currently have? And when that question hit, I knew the answer was no. I knew I had exercise videos I wasn't using. I knew I had knowledge. I've got calorie books memorized. I can tell you the calories of almost any food by looking at it. Unless there's a hidden ingredient like butter or something that I'm not told about, I can look at it and come to a very close estimate just looking at the food, because I've had so many years of experience with dieting. So I have knowledge, and I have these exercise videos. I had a set of hand weights. I had resistance bands. I have a nice walking trail by my house. I have a lot of resources that I could have been using. And I wasn't making use of them. I wasn't using them. I have a Wii Fit. I just had a lot of things that, although I didn't have everything, I didn't have a gym membership and I didn't have the money to get one, I did have enough resources to do a lot more than I was doing. But I wasn't utilizing them. So that's back to honesty again. I had to be honest with myself and say, no, I'm not using the resources I have. Well, then I decided I'd better start using them. And it was that show, it was seeing Wally's failure on that show that compelled me, and especially, that question that when I kind of judged him and then realized that I was no better, that I was doing the same thing. I mean, he may have had more resources than I had, but we were both not using what we had. So that's when I really made a change. That's when the switch went off in my brain and I said, all right, no more. I have to stop this. I have to start using the resources I have, and I have to start using them to the fullest extent I can. And so then I started looking at what the people on that show were doing. And they were doing 2 hours of cardio every morning and 2 hours of cardio every evening. On top of that, they were doing strength training and other things like, flexibility and stuff like that. But they were getting 4 hours of cardio every day. And then they were adding in other activities too. Plus they were staying on a diet. And, so I looked at that and I go, well, I won't be able to do that much, honestly, because I have a lot of other responsibilities, a lot of other things to do, and these people were kind of sort of taking a vacation from life for a little while that I don't have the luxury of doing. But I knew I might not be able to do everything they were doing, but I could certainly do more than I was doing. And so I just decided from that point on, no more excuses. I am going to do everything I can do. I examined myself. I said, you know what? I haven't been honest with myself. I've been telling myself I'm doing all I can to lose weight, but I really wasn't doing all I could. There was a lot more I could be doing. And so I determined that over the summer, when I had so much free time, because I'm a homeschool mom and I only work part-time outside of the home, so in the summer when my kids aren't doing school, I have a lot more free time. And I decided I have free time over the summer. I'm going to make the most of that free time. I'm going to exercise all I can and see how much progress I can make in this one summer. And I made a lot. I lost over 30 pounds in that one summer. And then I also decided after summer was over that even though I might have to slow down a little bit because I would be busier, that didn't mean I had to stop. I could still set a minimum that I would accept and make sure that I do at least that minimum every day. And that's what I've been doing. So, okay, here's my question to all of you. First of all, have you been honest with yourself? Maybe you're doing great. Maybe you have been honest with yourself. If not, you know, maybe it's time to look at those areas where you haven't been. And there goes a quad. Okay. All right. Second, besides honest, is look at the resources you have. Look around at what resources you have. If you're about to say, "Oh no, I don't have any resources. I don't have anything to do with to work out with," I hate to tell you this, but you have your body, and it doesn't use any other equipment to do crunches, to do jumping jacks, to do push-ups, lots of other exercises. You can look up body weight exercises and find out a lot of ideas. And it doesn't require any equipment other than a pair of shoes to go walking. So you really don't need equipment. You can start getting in shape with whatever you have right now. And then even when it comes to diet, you know, if you say, well, I can't afford to eat healthy, you know what? My family visits the food bank regularly. I don't like to admit that online because I'm hoping that people who know me aren't going to be watching, but so be it. My family, well, I said regularly, we are going to be visiting regularly unless something changes. We just recently started visiting it because times have gotten hard. But we have to go and get food from the food bank. And you know what? I'm still in control of how much of that food I eat. I can still look and say, you know what, just because the food bank is offering donuts doesn't mean I have to eat them. And I can still make lentil soup and bean soup and a lot of other inexpensive dishes like that, and I can still control myself and not overeat. There really is no excuse. So just ask yourself this week, are you being honest with yourself? And also, what resources do you have that maybe you're not utilizing? Okay, until next time, keep those fires burning. Bye.